Okay, good morning. Today we're going to start our new lesson, lesson 2, page 382, invertebrate phyla. In this lesson there are some points that we need to be aware of, the characteristics of invertebrates, what are the different phyla we have. We have sponges, cnidarians, flatworms, roundworms, mollusks, annelids, arthropods, and echinoderms. So first we're going to start talking about the different characteristics of invertebrates. When I say invertebrates, if you still remember, we said the invertebrates, they have the animals that don't have. So invertebrates say they don't have a backbone. So they lack or they don't have a backbone. Most of them have no internal structures. When I say internal structures, yani the structures that are found inside their body. So they don't have these structures to help support their body, like the backbone that we have. They are smaller and they move slower than vertebrates. Some examples of invertebrates, we have the annelids, echinoderms, mollusks, we have crustaceans, we have insects, arachnids, and so on. So here we have a few of the invertebrates. Invertebrates represent 95% of the animals being discovered, and about only 5% of these animals are the vertebrates. So they have different characteristics. So their physical characteristics range from simple structure for the sponge jellyfish to complex bodies like the worms, snails, and insects. Here we have jellyfish, here sponges, here we have snails, and here we have a worm. So if you can see that each one of them have different shape, so each one of them have different characteristics. Otherwise, they would be all belong to the same group or phylum. Here we have different forms or different types of insects. So now we're going to say, what do these animals have in common? Or simply we can say, what are the common characteristics between invertebrates? Although we didn't write the word invertebrate, but we should know that these are different types of invertebrates. So what do these animals have in common? We simply can say they don't have a backbone, most of them have no internal structure for support, and they tend to be smaller and move slower than vertebrates. So now we're going to start talking about sponges and cnidarians. So first of all, what are the different characteristics of sponges? Before that, we should know that sponges belong to the phylum Porifera. When I say Porifera, it means they have pore bearing. So what do I mean by pore bearing? They have openings to help them filtrate the water so that they can take the food particles from the water. They are the simplest of invertebrates. They live in aquatic environments. They are sessile. When I say the word sessile, it means they cannot move. They cannot move, and they stick into the place they are. They are heterotrophic. When I say heterotrophic, if you still remember, they cannot make their own food, so they feed on others. They are filter feeders. Filter feeders, as I mentioned, they have the openings to allow the water to go through so that they can filtrate it and take the molecule, the water particles from water. Respiration, digestion, and excretion are all carried through water. They have no nervous system and they reproduce sexually and asexually. The type of symmetry they have is asymmetric. So the three different types of symmetry, don't forget about them: asymmetric, bilateral, and radial. So the sponges, they have asymmetric symmetry. They have no tissues, organs, or organ system. They have cells. They have cells that are specialized. So they are specialized for what? For capturing food, digestion, and reproduction. Most of them live in the ocean. Few species live in fresh water. We have many examples. As I mentioned, this is the opening where the water can go through and filtrate the water. Here, in example, we have the tube sponge, we have tree sponge, we have pink sponge, and we have glass sponge. So just different forms of sponges, just for your knowledge. The second phylum, we have Cnidarian. Cnidarians, they have something special. They have stinging cells. They are aquatic animals. Most of them live in the ocean, including jellyfish, sea anemones, and hydras and corals. No organs or organ system. They have simple tissues, muscle, nervous, and digestive. They have a radial symmetry. Their body is surrounded by tentacles, and they have specialized cells known as nematocysts. So the special cells they have, the nematocyst, is used for defense and capturing food. Here examples of cnidarians, we have jellyfish, sea anemones, jellybugs, hydras, and corals. Okay, this is a hydra. Here we have the corals, jellyfish, sea anemones, and jellybugs. This is how the hydras look in real. Now here you can see they showed us here the tentacles that they use for capturing food and defense. They have special adaptations, as we said, the nematocysts. Another thing we should know about it, it's stinging cell. They use it for defense. Coral, they are living as a colony, and they have nerve nets, which is a network of nerve cells that allow it to detect stimuli. The next phylum we're going to talk about are the flatworms and the roundworms. When I say flatworms, I'm talking about the phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, so Platyhelminthes, which is the flatworm. Flatworm, they have a flat body, soft. So here, from this image here, I can see if I do a line here in the middle, okay, I can see that it have a bilateral symmetry. It can cut the image all two parts. Different pictures showing you the flat worms. So they have bilateral symmetry. They have soft flattened bodies with nerve muscles. Digestive system with one opening. The one opening is used to in the digestive system, mouth and anus. So this is how a flatworm can be seen. Another phylum, we have the nematoda or the roundworms. So they come in different shapes, but all of them belong to the phylum nematoda. So they are round, so they have round bodies. Okay, they have also a bilateral symmetry. They have nerve, muscle, digestive system with two openings. So here the difference between nematodes and platyhelminthes is that nematodes have two openings. They have, as I mentioned earlier, round bodies. So they have stiff outer covering. Stiff outer covering, they call it the cuticle. Okay? Now you will say cuticle is the waxy layer that protects the plants. No, here I'm talking about a stiff outer covering for the roundworms. It has a function similar to the cuticle that is found in the plants, but it is for the roundworms. They live in moist environment. Some of them are parasitic. So parasitic, it means they live in animal digestive system. Okay, so you can simply hear, this is the digestive system, this is the digestive system of an animal, so the nematodes can live inside. Free-living roundworms eat fecal matter and dead materials. Another phylum that we should talk about is the mollusks now. So mollusks and annelids. Phylum mollusks, they contain different characteristics. Also, they have a bilateral symmetry. They have soft bodies, soft. Okay. Some of them they have hard shells, like the snail. Okay. they have a digestive system with two openings. So two openings means by it what? The mouth and the anus for excretion. Circulatory system contain blood, but no blood vessels for the transportation of blood. The nervous system, they have a simple brain, eye, and other sensory organs, and they must remain wet. If you look here at this image here, we can see this is the tail, this is the shell they have for protection. Some types of mollusks, they don't have shell for protection like the slug here. We have the slug, here this is the slug, there is no shell for protection. Also we have another example here, we have the octopus, and also we have the squid. These are different forms of mollusks. Some of them they are edible and you can eat. Phylum Annelida, or we can say segmented worms. When I say segmented worms, they have segments, they have different parts. They have bilateral symmetry and soft bodies. They are repeated segments with covered cuticle also. Here showing you an earthworm. Here I mean by it's segmented, there is segments, okay, between each. Their circulatory system made of blood vessels that carry blood, and they have simple brain. They live in water or moist area like the soil. Okay, so they also have two openings for the digestive system. Some examples of annelids. Also, we have the leeches. Okay, and also here we can see a marine worm. If we look closely for a worm, we can see that is the mouth and the anus for excretion. We can see that they have a digestive tract where the food goes through, okay, and they have a brain, okay, and the segments, okay, showing you here a segment, okay, segment, and so on. Each one is known as bristles, just for your knowledge, no need to know the words. Okay? Here showing you the leeches that can stick into an organism and take the blood they have. Another phylum that we're going to discuss is the arthropod. When I say arthropoda, they have bilateral symmetry. They have something here, exoskeleton. Okay, exo means outside, so it is an exoskeleton. It's a thick outer, from the outside, covering that protects and supports animal's body. Okay, they have jointed appendages. What is an appendage? An appendage is a structure like a leg or an arm. Okay, that extend outside the body. They help for example, to get the food and so on. Specialized segmented bodies, they live in most every environment on Earth. Here we have some examples of arthropods. So what is the different orders found in arthropods? For the first order we have the insects. Insects is the largest order of arthropods. They have 3 pairs of jointed legs. When I say pair, means 2. So they have 6 legs. Okay? They have 1 or 2 pairs of wings. It depends on the type of the insect. There are 16 major groups. Okay? Beetles is an example, which is the largest group found in insects. If you look at this part here, we say they have jointed parts, legs. So there's joints, okay? This is 1. 2, they have 3 body parts, okay? The head, the body, and the lower part. Another order for arthropods, we have the arachnids. When I say arachnids, I'm talking about spiders, ticks, scorpions. Here they have 4 pairs of jointed legs. I mean by that, they have 8, okay? And there's 2 body parts. They don't have antenna or wings. Here examples, we have the tick, we have the scorpion, we have the spider, and those are also other examples of spiders. Now after arachnids, we have crustaceans that include crabs, shrimps, and lobsters. They have 1 or 2 pairs of antennae, the jointed appendages in the mouth area. Here we have the mouth area that contains those appendages. This is the mouth area. The appendages they use it for. This is the mouth area. Those that are appendages that they use them for biting and crushing food. Okay, so for defense and for food. And the last phylum that we are responsible for, and we should know, the echinoderms. When I talk about echinoderms, I'm talking about the ones that have a spine skin. Spine skin like what? Like the sea stars, cucumbers, and sea urchins. More closely related to vertebrates than any other phyla of invertebrate. They have a radial symmetry. They have hard plates that support the body. They have something special that they move by having the tube feet. The tube feet is a muscle, so it is muscular fluid-filled tubes that enables them to move and feed. Okay, they are aquatic. They survive for a short period of time of water. Here we have the sea urchin. Those are what I'm talking about, the spiny skin. So these are the spines they have, okay, for protection. They have here the mouth from the from here they have the anus for excretion. So the echinoderms, they have a complete digestive system. Complete, that it means that it begins with the mouth and ends with an anus. Okay, so how do the echinoderms move? By using the tube feet. Okay, that enables them and help them to move and feed. This is a table showing you the different phyla. Okay, we have phylum sponges. We have cnidarian, flatworm, annelids, arthropods, mollusks, and echinoderms. There is some characteristics we should know. The type of symmetry, as we said during the explanation, sponges, they have asymmetrical, cnidarians radial, flatworm bilateral, annelids also have bilateral, arthropods bilateral, mollusks too, and echinoderms, they have radial. Okay, they said 5-part radial symmetry. Do they move? Locomotion. When I say the word locomotion, it means they move or they don't. Okay, so this table helps you for your information, like a summary for the lesson. This is our lesson, very simple. There is lots of words that you need to take into consideration, pay attention for, and have a nice day. Any questions, just inform me, and we will reply as early as possible.